The internet is an essential lifeline. Without access to it, people are digitally excluded. Digital exclusion has a huge negative impact on people's lives. It can lead to increased social isolation and loneliness, make healthcare and government services harder to access, and reduce education and employment opportunities.
Currently in the UK, 1 in 20 households don't have access to the internet at home, and more than 2 million households struggle to even afford internet access.
Good Things Foundation is the UK's leading digital inclusion charity, and we're on a mission to fix the digital divide. In 2022, we launched our strategy with the goal to engage 1 million people and help them benefit from the digital world, and grow and support 5,000 digital inclusion hubs to respond to local needs.
We've developed a scaled and proven solution to fix the digital divide across the UK. Our services reach those most in need of digital inclusion support.
Together with our amazing community partners in the National Digital Inclusion Network, we provide digital skills, data and devices to help connect.
73% of digital inclusion hubs offering the National Data Bank support people who are educationally disadvantaged, while 56% support people who are experiencing homelessness and 41% support people who have recently experienced domestic or family violence. We are proud to say our network now has over 3,000 members, and since launching our strategy we've distributed just under £2 million in grants. 91% of hubs agreed that their digital inclusion capability grant achieved better outcomes for people struggling to access or use the internet.
We've distributed almost 182,000 free SIM cards from O2, Vodafone and 3. More than 1,200 hubs distributed these SIM cards, with one hub in the East Midlands seeing a queue out of the car park. One person who received data said being able to access the internet has made everything during the cost of living crisis so much easier.
The National Device Bank accepts donations of used corporate IT equipment, refurbishing and distributing tech to the hands of people who can't afford or access their own devices. And since April 2022, over 16,000 devices have been donated by organisations, with almost 4,500 now given to hundreds of hubs for people in their communities. Reusing tech for social good has also avoided over 3 million CO2 emissions and prevented thousands of kilograms of e-waste. However, demand for devices is nearly 5 times greater than what we can offer. If more organisations donate devices, we can help many more people.
5.8 million people will still be digitally excluded in 2032 if no further action is taken to improve their digital skills. Learn My Way, our free digital skills platform, is used by over 1,800 hubs, and we've had over 79,000 registrations. 90% of participants felt that their digital skills improved or that they were more confident using the internet. Improved digital skills also improves the lives of the ones that they love.
So we'll keep doing what we're doing, delivering our strategy, promoting Learn My Way, and working with our fantastic funders.
Together with our incredible strategic partners and the National Digital Inclusion Network, we'll fix the digital divide for good.
We know that when we invest time and expertise to fix the digital divide, we're supporting people to improve their lives, to be happier, healthier and better off.
Thank you for supporting Good Things.
Together, we can fix the digital divide for good.
Thanks, Aisha, that was great. I think some of you will have seen it before, and I'm hoping that awareness of this impact isn't new to many of you. I can see a great combination of people from private businesses, from national and local government, from volunteers, from some of our hubs, and a range of other people as well. So thank you so much for joining. I'd like to introduce you first of all to Ursula Boardman. Ursula, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and the organisation that you are representing?
Sure, thank you. Hello everyone. So yeah, my name is Ursula and I am the head of centre at the Funds Project, and we're a Bournemouth-based charity We train adults with mixed abilities to gain skills and qualifications for the hospitality industry and for independent life skills. Thank you.
Thank you. And the same again, can I ask you, Kimberly, to introduce yourself and the People Know How team?
Yeah, sure. My name's Kimberly. I work for an organisation called People Know How based in Edinburgh. It's a social innovation charity, so we just see where there's a need and then we support people in the community. The project or the service that I manage is the Reconnect service, which supports people to be more digitally included.
That's fantastic. And the two of you are representing just two of the nearly 3,000 digital inclusion hubs in the national network that work alongside Good Things Foundation. I think it's safe to say that all of our network hubs are entirely different and they all serve very different communities. Could you give us a little bit more information about the communities that you serve, Kimberly?
So as I said, we're based in Edinburgh and East Lothian. So we kind of have a three-pronged approach. We support people on a one-to-one basis. We run the Connecting Scotland National Helpline, so we can support people remotely as well. And we have digital drop-in groups across Edinburgh and East Lothian. We do a lot of our work in partnership with other organisations, for example, food pantries, lunch clubs, and all that kind of thing. So yeah.
And the same again, Ursula, if you can just give us a bit more of a feel for the communities that you support.
So yeah, Bournemouth are here based in Dorset, and so community we mostly support is adults with learning disabilities, mental health issues, acquired brain injury and stabilised addictions. So we do have a training program that people, and when they attend proms, follow, but I'll talk a bit more in a little bit about what else we're going to be doing.
That's fantastic. So I think it will help everybody on the call today if we can share a bit more information about what the digital inclusion offer is that our hubs provide, the support they provide, and the impact that it has on the communities that that you particularly focus on. So while we're listening to Ursula and Kimberly, please do drop any questions that you've got about any aspect of the work that we're doing into the chat, and we can kind of make this a really useful, productive and interactive webinar as well. So I'll straight back to you, Ursula, if you don't mind, but so really about the inclusion offer that you mentioned and the impact that it has on your communities in Dorset.
So yeah, so we offer a full training program which consists of 9 modules, starting with the real basics. We do have people that come to us that don't have any digital skills at all. So right from how do I switch this machine on to online interaction and video conferencing, also about chatting on WhatsApp, Zoom, Teams. It could be for personal use or for work. So also things around finance skills, online banking, budgeting skills, and things around benefits. We found that COVID really highlighted to us the need for us to move forward with digital skills. So for accessing things like medical and self-care apps and employability skills in job searching, job applications online, right down to our learners can learn to use Microsoft, Google Docs, OpenOffice, and also about learning that digital terminology as well. Our learners can pick and choose individual modules if they want. They don't have to take the full program. So anyone that comes along to our program, which we're hoping eventually will not just be our trainees at our centre, but they can choose which areas they'd like to really improve on or learn for the first time. Thank you.
That's great, Ursula, thank you. And if I can put the same question to you as well, please, Kimberly. It's really insightful to kind of hear what it is you do, how your offer works, and the impact that it has.
Yeah, so the support we offer is kind of very holistic. We kind of dance to the beat of the people we're supporting's drum, which isn't easy. Whether that's on the helpline, whereby somebody will call, we'll make sure that a case is not closed until it's closed, and there could be 3 or 4 calls back and forth until a problem is solved, whether it's at groups, or the one-to-one support we do. We have been helping a lot more people who have had experience with substance use as well. A lot of what we do is quite similar to what Ursula does. So just supporting people with day-to-day life skills with using digital, basically. Because we've discovered that a lot of our coordinators are called digital and wellbeing coordinators, because we found that during COVID, we had a wellbeing team that did befriending and a digital team, and those 2 things were intrinsically linked. So we basically get to know the individual, find out what their learning styles are, what their communication styles are, and try and find a path that suits them. Learning wise, we could be helping one person send an email to their energy company. Once they come in, we get support to send the email, and it may be a few weeks down the line before we encourage them to come back to do a little bit more learning. And then other people, we would be supporting them go through the whole of Learn My Way, because that just suits them. So the support we deliver is quite varied in the way that we approach things.
And I think for me, that's absolutely key about the way Good Things works with all the different hubs. With 3,000, not only you're all different, you feel different, you serve different aspects of community, but digital inclusion is just one strand of many other things that you do. But we find that it kind of runs through everything else it is that you're looking to do as well. And I loved what you were saying about it's varied, because we know that one size doesn't fit all. Everyone's individual needs are different. They're all starting from a different place. They learn differently, as you said. So thank you for really drawing that out. I think it will really add to our insight for everyone listening on the call. If you could give some specific examples of, for example, just one person that you've helped recently, why they came to your hub for support in the first place, because again, all the stories I hear are very different. So can I ask that straight back of you, Kimberly?
Yeah, sure. Luckily, I was covering. I'm not so much in the groups anymore, which I enjoyed covering a group last week, shall we say. One of the team were off, and it was just a reminder of how something so simple can make a huge difference to someone's life. So we had a group of ladies from another organisation. It was just spread through word of mouth that we supported people with digital coming along where English is their second language. And we had a lady who was recently separated, who got her own place, and this was very, very new to her. She hadn't been on her own. There was kids involved, so getting a device to her for her household was really important, because she had a device there for her kids to come to do homework. They wouldn't need to go back to the other parent's house to do homework. There was no pull. So it was like they can go to mum's to do their homework. That was there. Because she's learning English and trying to become more and more confident, there was things that we could get her to do online, to continue to do at home. And even just having that freedom of choice, of different things that you can do online, and having that experience of, well, actually, once I achieve this goal, then I might look into volunteering, and then I might actually see what jobs that I can do, and then I might, so it's like supporting people on that path to almost self-discovery just through having a device and an internet connection. And it's lovely to see, and I miss seeing that, so it was great covering that group the other week.
That's great. I think for me, it's that really brings alive why, the whole Good Things team, surrounded by all the 3,000 other teams out in communities. It's why we do what we do, and we're a mixture of of people working full time, people who are volunteering time on different evenings, days of the week, weekends. So thank you. That richness is really inspiring. And Ursula, if I could ask the same as you as well, I know you work with all kinds of people, but if you could just paint a picture for us of just someone that you've helped recently, how they came to find you at Crumbs in the first place, that would be really helpful.
So yeah, we have a young man that we've been working with, and he initially came to us for learning skills in catering to help with some independent skills at home. But he's got Down syndrome and a learning disability, but increasingly he started to show and say that he wanted to gain skills, some digital skills. This wasn't something that they have at home. So this was going to be very new to him. And he was very nervous to start with. But slowly, with our trainer, really encouraging him, because it's something that he really wanted to do, however nervous he was, to go into the digital suite. And he built up his confidence and can now independently switch a laptop on. He can find his way around, and he's working through our digital modules as well. But another big thing that's been really important for him is that he is now using a mobile phone in his personal time to communicate with family members, and that was a big step for him. So yeah, lots of improvement there, and yeah, it's just wonderful to see somebody grow from a little bit of interest there and wanting to be like their peers and doing what some of the other trainees were doing to now be doing that.
That's fantastic, thank you. I can see quite a few people interacting with the chat. We will definitely take note of all these things that people are inputting. We're very keen to hear from anyone and to partner with anyone that might be able to help us in fixing the digital divide. So please do continue to put those in. And if you have questions as well, whether it's for Ursula or for myself or Kimberly, please do drop them in. And if there's anything that you're going to ask us that we don't have the answer to right now, we will absolutely get back to you. So no such thing as a daft question. And we're very much about collaborating, and we kind of, the way our network works is with quite a bit of peer-to-peer support as well, which I think probably takes me on to my next question, really. If I could ask both of you, what do you find is the best thing about being involved in the National Digital Inclusion Network? Because as I've said, all 3,000 of you, you're all very different. You're set up for different reasons. You work in different ways. So what is it about being part of the Digital Inclusion Network that makes a difference to you? Let me ask you, Ursula, seeing as you're still right in the middle of my screen.
So yeah, I mean, it's great to be part of the network with moving forward to really fix that digital divide that we're all talking about now, you know, combating that digital exclusion, because I think, like for many of us, when we're going through COVID, especially those of us that are working with disadvantaged adults, really highlighting that need, and to think there's so many of us now out there working towards that same goal. I mean, for what we do, I mean, we're going to be able to offer our digital skills program to other organisations that don't have those resources or the capacity to support as adults with learning needs or mental health issues to gain those digital skills. And also it's enabling us to give training and support to some of our local elderly residents too. So it's really quite wide, and yeah, it's great to be part of that.
Brilliant, thank you. And the same again to you, Kimberly, please.
I actually really enjoy the kind of peer support. It's really good when we kind of get together and we can share our experiences or struggles that we've had, whether it be volunteer recruitment and finding out what other people have done. And yeah, and just to kind of echo what Ursula said, it's the idea of everybody has the same goal. And it's, yeah, you're right, Ursula, like during the pandemic, we were kind of hammering away and trying to support the community, but I don't think a lot of our work was really recognised because it had to be done so kind of quickly and we were just addressing a problem right there on the ground. At least together, hopefully we'll shout a wee bit louder to say, this is what happened then. You know, it was really, really difficult. We were all in our homes and kids were like sharing one tablet and people couldn't go and order prescriptions, or they didn't know anybody to pick up shopping or things like that. And just say, this is just not on. And the fact that we're all together in the same struggle is quite empowering, actually. And it's good because we really do share ideas. And like this morning, I had a call with somebody who might be having kind of some struggles, and I was just like, we've been the same. We've tried this. I've been literally knocking on doors and just sending templates of questions I would ask or things like that. Has been really, really useful. And it's okay to say, look, this has been a bit of a struggle, and what have you guys done? And share those ideas. I think a lot of times people try and keep all those good ideas to themselves, and I definitely don't feel that with Good Things Foundation.
Thank you, Kimberly. That's it's something we hear really frequently, that whole you know, that you don't need to reinvent the wheel, that if you're having a problem, somebody else has probably already encountered it and has ideas. So that kind of sharing of ideas and best practice, and knowing that because we're so spread, literally there's you know, there's not a community across the UK and Northern Ireland that doesn't have a hub in it or close by it, and so we're not in competition, we're very much in collaboration and looking to share what we found works in one place that can be used or adapted somewhere else. It's truly uplifting to kind of see it happening and to be part of it. So thank you. And I think, again, I see a couple of other people have joined us. Just to sort of say, we have recorded this, so if anyone did have to join late, and we will make the full recording available. If you've got questions at any time, please do drop them in the chat, and I'll put them to the panel as well. In the meantime, if I ask you another question, so what is it about the Good Things Foundation? What does the support of them mean to your organisation? Because we know that we're just one strand of lots of other things that you do. You know, the network hubs have very rarely just been set up to tackle digital inclusion. They're there to do all kinds of other things within the community, but have found that commonality that digital inclusion impacts every aspect of life. So if you could kind of, it helps me and my colleagues, and you know, you work with us all the time, but what does the support of the Good Things Foundation mean to your organisation? I'll ask you, Kimberly, because you're still there looking great on the middle of my screen.
No worries. So as I said, we manage the Connecting Scotland helpline, which puts us in a really kind of great position to kind of go to the Good Things Foundation's website and see where people's closest hubs are, where they can go and get access to data should they need it, or maybe go a bit further afield if need be to access some training or support in the area. So it's really been valuable for us in terms of the helpline, and get a good lay of the land in terms of what is in the area, because one minute I'm looking for a hub, getting people listening, next minute I'm Googling digital support in the area, what groups are there, and then I'm following them on Twitter, and so just, you know, kind of getting a good lay of the land. But having access to the data bank has been really, really great. Even at events, I've seen we've been going to some employability or kind of recruitment events and things like that, just to support people sign up to, I don't know, say the council website to look for jobs and whatnot, and just having those sims there for people to kind of say, look, and there's no questions, there's no stigma, it's just that we've got those there, this is how you can use them, has been really, really great. The support I've received personally from people like Lou as well has been lovely. Everybody's so down to earth and they're quite responsive as well. So if I'm having any issues or I'm not sure about something, it's great to have somebody on the other end of the line that can understand you right away. So yeah, for me personally, it's been lovely, to be honest.
Thank you. And if I ask the same to you, Ursula, you know, the support of the Good Things Foundation, the difference it makes to you and Crumbs.
Yeah, well, like I said, due to the pandemic, it really highlighted that need, and we hadn't really touched much on digital skills at all because we were very hands-on. Like I said, for hospitality, catering. So when we reopened up our training centre, we had this space, and it's like, well, what we're going to do with it? And it's like, well, we could turn it into a digital suite. And actually, Good Things Foundation came along at the perfect time. They've been incredible because we were able to not only get a trainer, a learning support assistant, we were able to get out a digital suite and produce a program that was suitable for all age ranges and abilities. Jonathan's been a great help. I'll just do a shout out for Jonathan. Yeah, during meetings or any queries or when we were stuck for anything. But yeah, I mean, it was just like perfect timing when you guys came along to give us the support that we needed to be able to do what we really wanted to do. And it's made such a difference, not only to Crumbs, but it's going to make a difference to other organisations that we have a lot of connections with too.
I think that's a really good point as well, Ursula, that, you know, some of our hubs work directly with individuals, some of them work with groups, some of them, like yourself, work with organisations. So the impact really does cascade, and it's very much a kind of a shared collaborative. And I think for me, being a fairly new joiner to Good Things Foundation, I've found that, you know, really inspirational to see. It's literally at all levels that the work that that we're doing together is, and you know, there's any individual similarly or organisations also can kind of get involved, and there's a means of embracing everyone to kind of help tackle this issue, which makes such a difference to whether it's your supply chain, whether it's your customer base, whether it's that you're working directly with members of the public, their families, their friends, you know, whether it's as looking to have employability for staff for the future, and whether it's just trying to enable more people to access the services that we're delivering through local and central government. It's there's not really an aspect of life that it doesn't touch. So thank you, that's really helpful. Please do keep putting in your content into the chat. I can see a couple of things here that I'll pick up on straight away. So there's some great offers of support. Sarush, you've put that you have some knowledge that might be of use to people and that you'd be happy to help any of the charities that we work with. We'll definitely follow up with you on that, but it's worth me mentioning on the Good Things Foundation website, there's a fantastic interactive map that allows you to put in where you are and see hubs that are close to you. They are literally from the full length and breadth of the UK and Northern Ireland. They're there. And we are adding to those hubs all the time. We update that map once a month. It's worth saying not every single network hub is on the map, because some that we work with for very obvious reasons deal with very vulnerable people or deal with victims of abuse and that sort of thing. So not every single hub is on the map, but you'll definitely get a feel for just how close you are to hubs near you that absolutely would be keen to hear from you and have support. Always looking for volunteers. You heard Kimberly mention that, and I know lots of our hubs are in the same situation. So thank you for that offer, and we'll definitely follow up with you. I can see we've got quite a few people who are involved in academic studies, and we do quite a bit of work with a number of prestigious academic organisations, and always keen to hear and to collaborate on more. So this series of Tech for Social Good talks at Lunchtimes have a number of things that we're planning to cover in coming weeks and months. So it might be great to involve some of you in some of those roundtable discussions as well. Steve, Thomas, thank you. You were asking about how Good Things Foundation are involved with the emerging work around a minimal digital a minimum digital living standard. That's absolutely on the list of topics that myself and colleagues are looking to cover in these webinars. And you make a really good point around understanding of digital exclusion, which is likely to show a higher percentage of population below the minimum than the typical measure of internet use. I think that's exactly right. Kimberly, did you want to come back on one of those points? I can see you raise your hand.
Yeah, it was actually something I forgot to mention in terms of the Support of Good Things Foundation, and just the gentleman that had mentioned academia as well. We used the funding, I think it was for Capability Grant, to do a research project whereby we got citizen researchers or volunteers to go out into the community and ask people various questions about digital inclusion, the support they receive. And we did that alongside the Binks Hub at the University of Edinburgh, which was really, really great to do that together. And we are looking to kind of do a piece about that. But it's really interesting to see the work that's been done, that has been done, but a lot more work has been done in terms of academic pieces and work to do with digital inclusion at other universities. I think off the top of my head, Stirling University are doing a huge amount of work as well, the same as Edinburgh, and I look forward to how we can link that all together, you know, like the academic side, the business side, third sector, how we can get these all together to kind of really, again, get people to listen, especially in terms of social tariffs and all that kind of thing. And as you had mentioned, the minimal digital living standard as well. Yeah, so I'd be happy to have a blather, or if anybody is in the know or know of any studies, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Kimberly. I think those are all really important points that we're definitely keen to pursue along a number of different avenues. So all offers of support. As you can hear, we work really closely with the network and try and kind of pull people together, because there's no two ways about it. They're complex issues, and there are a variety of solutions that we need. So thank you. I can see Anna Healy, you've posted that you're a Labour peer in the House of Lords, that you were part of the Communications and Digital Select Committee who produced the recent report on digital exclusion. If any of you haven't seen that, I can highly recommend it. It's a really pertinent read, and we will make sure that you can find the report very easily on the Good Things Foundation website, and we'll pop a link in the chat as well. But thank you for joining us, Anna. We will work with absolutely all parts of government and local government to really try and make headway on this really important issue. We've got a few minutes left, so any other questions for Ursula or for Kimberly or for myself, do drop them into the chat. I think a couple of other things I'll mention while I'm waiting to see if any other questions come in. You can contact us at any time. We sort of publicise to the network, but hello@goodthingsfoundation.org will reach us, and we'll get you a prompt response from the appropriate person in the Good Things Foundation team. We come from quite a range of backgrounds ourselves, so we will find the right person for the right question. Another element, as we touched on in the film at the beginning around the work that we do, you saw the really powerful numbers of the number of people we've helped, the number of devices that we've helped them with. But across the inclusion network, the response is always that there's so much more we can do. There's so much more demand for devices than we have devices available. So if any of you are working with organisations who have IT and tech that we could extend the life of by at the end of the time that it's useful to your organisation, we can take it and help refresh it, and we do all of that in the kind of the normal secure way, so there's no issues with data or security. We can reuse those and get them back out into the community where they're needed. So really great links on the website to a report we did with Deloitte in recent months around using e-waste and digital devices for social good. So if you haven't seen that, do have a look at that. And I know that's a topic of another one of these webinars that we're looking at in the future. In about a month's time, really excitingly, we've got Get Online Week, and we promote access to digital and the free resources through Learn My Way all year round. But we have a real push on Get Online Week. It's been running for about 10 years now with Good Things Foundation, and we do a massive push. So if you or your organisations can help us raise awareness of Get Online Week, which is in the middle of October, we'd love to hear from you. We will be mailing out all of our contacts, but if you think you might not be on the contact list and you'd like to be, actually it makes a massive difference to us and to tackling the digital divide if you can just help us by sharing awareness of Get Online Week and how everybody can have access to those resources and the support from the network in getting online. That would be really, really helpful. I can see we've got a few more questions coming in. We've got, I've been working with Good Things Foundation and many other projects as well as government through the DICTO research, and we're keen to restart Digital Inclusion Research Working Group, which was a multi-stakeholder platform. So thank you so much for flagging that again. I will definitely make sure that, Helen, that we get that into the right part of Good Things Foundation and get back to you on that. I'm scrolling like mad with all the new points coming in. My screen's not refreshing as quick as I'd like it to. And Steve, you've raised another point about the barriers around content needing to be bilingual, and you host a digital inclusion map on the Gov Wales site, which includes inclusion hubs within Wales. It's a really good point, and thank you for making it, because I think it's sort of underlies everything we look to do with Good Things Foundation, is wherever we see any form of needing to ensure there are no barriers to accessing digital, we work tirelessly to kind of ensure that everyone can access. So it's a really good point about bilingual. And as you've heard, lots of the network hubs that we work with people where English is not their first language. And we absolutely partner with so many different organisations in so many different ways. I've got more coming in here. I think all the links to Get Online Week and the map and the House of Lords report are going up here into the chat. I can see that we've got more people sharing about the work they're doing, the research they're doing. I think that's the power for me of the network, is that collaboration, that ability to share. There's some amazing work going on across the UK, and there's no need in the kind of digital inclusion community for there to be any competition. It's all very much around collaboration and cooperation. So just closing words from you, Ursula, if there's anything else you'd like to add. I'll ask Kimberly first because she's on my screen first, but any closing words, any closing pleas out to anyone listening, any other points you'd like to make?
No, just really thanks everybody for coming along today, and feel free to, I'm happy to share my email if anybody wants to reach out at any point. Thank you. And Ursula?
Yeah, same as Kimberly, really. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming along. And again, yeah, I'm happy for anyone to contact us at Crumbs for any information on how we do what we do.
Thank you both. It's really uplifting to hear, you know, about the life-changing difference that you make to individuals, and really grateful for your time in sharing that with us on the webinar today. And thank you all for joining. Do look out for the next in this series of lunchtime talks. And if any of you would like to be involved in being part of one of those talks, we'd love to hear from you as well. Thanks everyone, and thanks to Aisha for your support in helping the webinar run today. Much appreciated.